I'm working on this 2017 Roush. I actually did a short on this vehicle. I call this one the situation where you can't please everyone. I think I've learned a lot from this truck. Going forward, I'm only gonna deal with the owner of the vehicle. It was too much middleman involved, and I don't even work with middleman working on vehicles. That's why I stopped head jobs, because I have to involve a middleman. So the situation went sort of like this. I pulled the car in for a skip or misfire. Looked over it, noticed a slice in the crankcase. I can show you in just a bit. Let me just get these tightened up. Noticed a slice in the crankcase, and I was like, okay, that's not good, because it was seeping oil down the front cover. So I was like, okay, we need to get that fixed. And I pulled the spark plugs and noticed that they was pretty fouled out. It's a lot of oil getting in the intake. So when pulling off this intake, I noticed a lot of oil residue around this area. And it was coming out the negative side of the PCV, just blowing oil in the intake, which sucked it in and fouled out the spark plugs. I'm like, okay, we need to start off with spark plugs, getting spark plugs right, PCV valve, and fix the hole in the crankcase ventilation system. So they sent them over the quote. They only approved the 2 out of the 3. I don't know if they didn't understand the quote, really didn't understand what happened. They didn't fix the hole in the crankcase, which, if you want to get up here, let's see, can we take a look together? Right around this area is leakage. Oh, here's the slice. There's a nice, let me grab a mirror. That way
I'm about to say, but I can't really see nothing.
I know, I'm about to show them. And I don't know how this slice got here. It's like somebody took a ziz wheel and cut it. But that's the slice that's pouring out oil. Look at the mirror, zoom in on the mirror. Yeah, so that's what we noticed. To this day, I'm still trying to figure out the slice, what is going on there. So, performed the tune-up, what they wanted, put the PCV valve on, and took it for a test drive. Right away, oil start pouring back into the intake track. So I'm like, what the heck? Brought it back. At this point, I was trying to stop all the blow-by, so I just kind of bypassed this altogether. I'm like, let me just unhook it and block it off and take it for another drive. Pick it for another drive. Straight up oil back in the intake track. At this point, oil was blowing on the belt so bad that the belt had derailed, had fell off. So now she needed a new belt. After taking the belt off, we noticed the tensioner was bad. I'm like, okay, so it's just a recipe for disaster. So I was like, man, let me find out the story on this truck. So called, and they was like, well, it's my son's truck actually. I'm like, so this is not even your truck? I like, put me in touch with the son. Actually, they came up here in person. I think the dad or something spoke with him, and they just bought this truck, bought it online, pretty much sight unseen. From day one, this truck has been skipping. So just a lack of knowledge going in on this kind of.
How you know it was skipping when they bought it?
No, that's what the guy told me. He was like, man, something ain't right about this truck. And so they continued to drive it around. And of course, you drive it around with it skipping, it's just gonna get worse. So I didn't receive none of this knowledge. I was kind of shooting in the blind here. So of course, knowing me, I dug a little deeper. I'm like, okay, if it had a light skip and now it's a heavy skip, and they continue to drive around with it, knowing what I know when oil is getting sucked into the intake, and this is a forced induction engine, so it's just getting dumped into the intake and straight into the combustion chamber, you're gonna start seizing up the oil control rings because oil is dumping in there and you shut it off. That oil is gonna cook on the oil control rings and cause them to seize up. Not really seize up, but like carbon up and get real gunky. And then that engine pressure is gonna straight up enter the crankcase. So long story short, man, this thing need an engine rebuild or another engine.
My question is, how did we wind up with the 1-star review?
Yeah, she just wrote a 1-star, didn't explain or nothing.
Her husband was up here.
I explained
First of
everything
all,
to him.
the sons, whoever came here, you took 30 minutes out of your day showing and telling, explaining in person
Ridiculous.
while he's on speaker. Then she comes.
And they understood, but when they came, it was like you got the vibe of like they were looking at me sideways like I did something
We
wrong.
invited them back to have a look at it. She understood. We even printed out her report, gave it to her. But guess what? We still wind up doing
Hey, I don't care. That hurt me though.
it. Really don't, because you can't catch us on nothing we did wrong. We had nothing to do with nothing. Now, she did pay for her bill, so I give her that. But
Maybe she didn't feel that she shouldn't have been charged, but the work has been done, and I had very little information to go off of, and that's kind of hard to do as a mechanic sometimes. Prime example, another situation where I misdiagnosed the car, and this wasn't misdiagnosed. It did needed this stuff. It did needed this stuff. The PCV valve was shot, so it had a two-part problem: PCV valve and a hole in the front cover. So I recommended them to the correct stuff, but prime example, back to my story, I had a Durango, 18 Durango come in for a cylinder misfire. And, looking through everything, I was like, I've been to several other shops. No one can figure it out. And they brought it here. Let me get on this step stool here.
I'm trying to figure out how to step down without falling backwards.
Dang, I dropped this clip. I need it.
Beautiful truck,
I'll
though.
find it in a little bit. But put the Durango in, ran my test. I'm like, oh, the injector is not working. Simple fix. Put an injector on there. Seemed to be doing a lot better. But to me, I knew something wasn't right. I told the customer, like, something is not right with this vehicle. This vehicle has no power. And it's trembling. It's not misfiring anymore. So he brought it back. I was like, I'm running out of time. Bring it back. If it don't clear up or you still feel that it's not right. Brought it back. Same thing. Skipping again. So I'm like, wait a minute now. I went and talked with the customer, and he like, yeah, well, this is my daughter's car. She drives it. I don't really drive it. So me knowing the Pentastar, I went straight for the valve cover. Took the valve cover off, and all the cam lobes was wiped on the intake. They drove it into it didn't even tick anymore. It wasn't ticking. It was nice and quiet. Point being, if the customer was here and, I would have talked directly to the customer, like, oh yeah, it was, once upon a time it used to tick, but it stopped. So I just didn't worry about it. And I would have knew right then and there to go right there and check under the valves, valve cover, find that the cam lobes are wiped out.
I'm thinking that on the Pentastar especially, and the LS engines, if they come in here for a misfire like that, I think we should charge them an automatic teardown just to rule out everything.
Well, some misfires can be very easy, a coil or a bad spark plug.
I mean, after your preliminary checks, of course.
Okay, I got you.
If you do a preliminary check and it ain't nothing simple like coils and stuff, or they already replaced the coils, automatic teardown. And that'll limit the back and forth and shooting in the dark.
Yeah, because, I don't like shooting in the dark. And
Yeah.
this is one of those situations where the
Because
customer...
his daughter probably don't even remember it ticking. That she had it for a few years.
Yeah. No, I guarantee she know it was ticking.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
We see Pentastars all the time at the mall. They just laughing and talking in the car.
I'm like, man, y'all done burn that car up. Of course, I recommended the engine because at that point, she was at the point of no return. She had like 200,000 miles on that car, and you know, she'd been driving around with it, so it was just so much metal saturated throughout that engine. It wouldn't have been wise to do lifters. And plus, that was a 3rd gen Pentastar, last generation, and the parts on back order. I couldn't even get parts for it. Sad, man.
Well, coming back to the Roush, if it's been ticking from the time they bought it.
It wasn't tickets.
Skipping, excuse me, wrong symptom. If it's been misfiring from the time they bought the car, I'm just trying to figure out how this ties back to us getting 1 star.
Oh, man, people gonna be people. They find anything to get mad at. They didn't really have nothing to stand on because they would have left, a text. They just gave the star, 1 star with no reasoning. Because they don't have no reason. They just mad because their situation not working out for them. And sometimes people do that. I see it, let's say take a police officer, for example. His life ain't working out at home. Wife mad at him, getting ready to divorce him. Guess who he gonna take his anger out on? On the good citizens of America. Or wherever y'all at. It don't matter if it's an American thing. That's how it be, though.
I don't know. Some citizens do be tripping.
No,
I know what you mean.
Okay, but
I'm just saying. Sometimes when you make statements like that, you got to say what you didn't mean because people going to interpret that. You know what I'm saying? We going to change the subject. Please don't post anything political because we
But that's not political. That's just...
No, I'm just talking about the comments.
Oh. This is taking out your anger,
Yeah.
That's just human beings. Human beings for you.
They were all here Friday and they act like they didn't want to come back and look. And she seemed like she listened to her. I asked, "Are you her husband?" He didn't answer. Maybe.
They were just being weird.
Yeah, they were being very weird. I don't know. So, oh well. And they just bought the car, and they probably bought it as is. They bought it from a smaller town here in Georgia. She said it was about an hour or 2 away where they bought it from. So, I don't know. Because one thing about Georgia, you sign an as-is paper. Come on, baby. You dropping everything, man.
No, I didn't.
What you drop?
My socket set. Oh, yeah, because they talking about lemon laws. We didn't even respond.
Let me tell you something. In the state of Georgia, the lemon law does not apply to used vehicles. It's only for vehicles that just came off the assembly line. You buy that car used, you sign as is, that's your car. Period. Unless something quirky happened, like you didn't do the deal at your location and you got an automatic 3-day right of rescission or something weird like that. But most people don't even know. So, anyway, let me help my husband pick up his stuff. Got the drop seats today.
I know, we're dropping everything. And my 10 is missing.
Typical.
Of course, it's the 10. It's always the 10. Oh, my. All right. I'm gonna have to crawl up under this. Didn't find my 10. I'm gonna have to crawl under there and dig. But at the end of the day, I don't mind 1-star reviews. Can't please everybody, like I said. And plus, it makes me look real. So, in a sense, I should be thanking you because 9 times out of 10, I get 5 stars because I treat people how I want to be treated. When I get my 1 stars, it's because people didn't get their way, or it didn't work out, or it was some type of misunderstanding with the customer, and rarely my staff. This case, it was no, not really, because we wrote everything up, so we can't blame us for not reading your report. Because when I mentioned the hole, they act shocked. I'm like, you didn't read your report?
And what'd she say?
Nothing. We put it on the report. I made sure of it because I always write up every vehicle like we're going to court.
Amen. Amen.
Yep. And I train my guys to do so. Yeah. Yep, it's stuck underneath somewhere. So let me get a creeper and go down now.
Funny thing about the internet, It always remembers, right? You tell it your business, it's gonna remember what you said. So I came in here to put the 1-star review on the screen, like to screenshot it, to show y'all that she just did the 1 star and nothing else. Clicked it, and guess what? It showed me all her other reviews that she's made over time, right? Because sometimes people just be making 1 stars. But anyway, that's all they do. But I was scrolling down, and what did I find? Their review from when they bought it. And there's the full story right there. So let's put it on the screen and see what she's talking about. Let's read it. My son was determined to purchase a Ford Roush. After driving all across Atlanta truck shopping with no success, he was able to find what he was looking for at an affordable price at Platinum Motorsports. Because of where it was located, I didn't want to drive that far, but the vehicle was priced right. The photos of the vehicles looked very good. Without even test driving the vehicle, my son worked with one of their sales guys, and we purchased the vehicle without even test driving it. She didn't say it not once, but she said it twice, and not knowing what we were getting. What? It's right here in black and white, folks. The salesman, along with the manager, made us feel really comfortable with the purchase, and they were very accommodating. They really blew my mind when they agreed to deliver the vehicle to me for free. So not only did she get it at a great price, a Ford Roush, sight unseen, they got free delivery. Man, because if it's too good to be true, it is what? Say it, folks. It is. They really blew my mind when they agreed to deliver the vehicle to me for free. We've had the vehicle for a week now, and the truck is amazing. I am very pleased with the vehicle in and out. I would definitely recommend this dealer for future purposes. Now, this is not a shot at the dealership, because we were not a part of that deal. We don't know what was verbally disclosed to them. So this is not a shot at Platinum Motorsports. Actually, I looked into them, and they actually have stellar reviews. So, we don't know what they disclosed to them, in their deal. So this ain't about them. This is about her and her son buying a truck sight unseen, having it delivered, driving it. They still haven't had it, but for a month. This thing was made a month ago. And you bring it here, we're exposing all these issues, and then the problem is with Alex, the car doctor. Make it make sense, folks. That's all we want to do. Make it make sense. All right, let's go catch back up with Alex.
All right. Got everything back together. I do want to take a moment of silence for my 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter, I will miss you. Ford claimed it, so I guess it's yours. Amen. That's gonna hurt me.
Did you look really good? Because you know how you are about looking for stuff.
Yeah, I did.
And I have to come behind you.
It's gone. I know I look for my 10. I guess it's gonna be somebody else's 10 in the future. While I was looking, this truck got a weird history behind it. On the block it says remanufactured engine by Ford. This thing here is all dicey. It could be a defect in the engine when they remanufactured it. Or they remanufactured it to specs to add the supercharger. I don't know. But it's back together, ready to go back to the customer. Everything is back into its original funky skipping
Is the
position.
oil leaking? Can we see
Yes.
that?
It is right here. He's not to get a step through because I can grab it.
Let's show the people. Let me get a step.
And it was when it first came in, you could see clearly it had a lot of oil residue buildup. Right here, like buildup of dirt that indicates an oil leak. Probably can't see it on camera that well. I can see where
car doctor is on the job. If you could see, try to zoom in and see that wetness down in there. See the hole there? Go ahead, sweetie. Oil gonna come
Crankcase,
out?
yeah, oil is gonna come out. The crankcase is compromised, so they just
Well,
didn't listen.
1 star for you.
Yep, it's all good.
Feel good to have that door fixed.
They semi-fixed. It's still a little rough at times. My next patient, 2018 Ford Escape. Vehicle keeps dying. Well, let's figure it out together.
Forward day.
Maybe they're talking about dying and the battery keeps dying because I can't even get in the car. So we're having a parasitic draw, maybe.
Well, I realize everybody don't know what escape is. It's escape.
Where's the key for this thing? Oh, gosh, I don't know how to work the Ford. I know I'm doing something wrong here.
Come on, car doctor.
Man, this is dumb. Let me put this down first of all. Let's see. It should come open. There's a key in here somewhere. Alright, figured it out. Yes. This is where nails come in handy, which I don't have. Because I keep them short because I don't want dirt under my nails. Alright. Completely dead. Let me go grab my jump box and see, can we bring this thing back to life? Well, she fired right up. People be sleeping on these little escapes. They burn up transmissions if you don't change the fluid. Yeah. Well, it's very important that you change the fluid. All these escapes that come into my shop, and they be like newer escapes. This is an 18 model. They normally be having like high miles. This one has 243,000 miles. Still purring like a kitten. Amazing.
I wonder if this is the original transmission and stuff.
I can look. But first I assumed that the alternator was bad. Alternator is putting out 13 volts. Pretty good. The transmission looks like it's been in here for a minute. The dirt matches the engine. So, most likely the original transmission. And this is the 2.0 EcoBoost, the 4-cylinder. Don't see many problems out of these. So we either have a bad battery, which I'm gonna have to charge the battery up and run a test on it because you can't test a dead battery. So I'm probably just gonna let it sit here and run and let the battery recover and put my test equipment on it. And so I come back in about 30 minutes. The alternator will recover a battery. So you don't necessarily need a charger. Take this off. Well, I decided to put this battery on charge because it's in very bad shape. After 10 minutes of running, it should have kind of recovered. I turned the car off and it only had 5 volts. That's pretty much why I started off at. So I'm gonna let it professionally charge up and go from there. But I really do believe this is gonna be a battery, just a simple battery. And it had a check engine light, and the check engine light is on basically for the battery going dead. Some cars don't like a certain voltage. So if it drops below, let's say 12 volts, and drop down in like the 10 or 4 volts, it'll throw a code saying, hey, I can't retain my memory with this voltage, and this code was de-energized PCM or something. Just your run-of-the-mill need a battery code. We'll see. Of course, me being me, I don't want to sell someone something that they don't need. So the right thing to do is to put the battery on charge. After it's on charge for about 30 minutes to an hour, retest it. If it tests bad, then sell the battery and go from there. You gotta keep it moving. Move on to the next one while that one is out there, back there charging. A couple of weeks ago, I did an experiment. It was more like a game I was playing. I bought a new TV because my daughter cracked it, backstory. And I was like, I'm about to box this bad boy, put the broken one in there, make it look like nobody touched it, put it in plastic. Man, I put my heart into that sucker. Took the time, left it on back of my truck. No one got it. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring it up here because people got sticky fingers. Put it right there. It's just been sick. Now I guarantee you, if I didn't want that TV stolen, it would have been gone that same night. No way. No one would want to even attempt to look at it. It's a 75-inch TV, but
I don't know, but can you get that off and in front of my office
yes,
door?
I'm just gonna throw it away.
Thank you.
It is done.
Like I told you to do the first time.
I wanted to waste somebody's time. Watch that brick. So this is my next one. It is a 08 Dodge Caliper. Today's patient. In shop notes, vehicle cuts off but started back up. Running rough. Heat does not work. So maybe a 2-part system. Well, let's crank it up and bring it on in and see what we're looking like. Oh. Nope, I'm leaving this one right here.
Running rough.
I got more problems, worse problems than that. This thing knocking like the police. Yeah, buddy, I think you're gonna need an engine. Let's see what's going on under the hood. Jeez, yeah, that is bottom end knot for those who don't know. Let's check the oil. Yeah, go figure. Bone dry dipstick. Yeah, he done ran this thing low on oil and destroyed the bottom end. Most people thinking on the other end of the screen, oh, Alex, just put more oil in and the knot will go away. No, oil is not gonna recover worn out bearing material on the bottom end. Connecting rod is loose. I can put oil and additives in it all day long. That knock is still gonna be there. This gentleman needs an engine. It's no sense of diagnosing it or pulling it in. It's staying right here. I'm probably not even gonna charge him a dollar bag. I'm just like, hey dude, I crunk your vehicle up. I turned it right back off. Yeah, I know how that sounds. So he's probably not gonna want to hear that. Definitely got bigger problems than heat does not work. So can't even test that. Yeah, so like, check the belts. Some of it look original. Okay. Yeah, this belt's starting to separate. I see some cord coming out the side of it. It's gonna be hard to see, but I saw it down in there. So recommend both belts. And put on there, gotta come from dealership because of these stretch belts. Okay. They don't like aftermarket stuff, so then the belts must come from dealership so the front staff will know. With this Ford here, I'm gonna call it, she has a dead battery. So we're getting ready to do some blood work and check, give this patient an overall health check because she got some miles on her. She hasn't been around the world halfway anyway. So we want to make sure this thing is safe for the customer. As of the Roush, it didn't turn out in the customer favor like she wanted it to. And, at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job. I understand they just bought the vehicle and they bought a lemon. They got. But does that have anything to do with me? No, but hey, that's how it ends up sometimes, unfortunately. But that being said, I'm gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna end this right here. Until next time, Alex Car Doctor House. See you guys on the next one.